And so we are just about set to go here from the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena, along with Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer, Tom Wynn, greeting you for today's Major Arena Soccer League contest between the Milwaukee Wave and the St. Louis Ambush. And we welcome all of our viewers, no matter where you may be, here in the city of Milwaukee, in Milwaukee County, southeastern Wisconsin, the state of Wisconsin, the United States of America, the North American continent, the planet Earth, the International Space Station, or worlds beyond. Welcome one and all to what should be an interesting, if not exciting, game today between the Wave and the St. Louis Ambush. And Art, as we talked about in the pregame, you've got two teams right now with having very different seasons. Same agenda, though, is to try to get a victory today. Milwaukee can clinch the Central Division title. A victory today would give them a mark of 14-3 and would extend their home winning streak to 8 consecutive games this season. St. Louis trying to see if they can go to 3-13. They are just 1-6 on the road. And Milwaukee has defeated the Ambush 17 consecutive times.
You saw the national anthem there, Tom, by the kids at the Forest Park Middle School, and I'm sure there's some St. Louis viewers who are watching and said, Forest Park? Forest Park is actually 1,300 acres located in St. Louis. Really, it's the heart of St. Louis. A lot of concerts and big tourist attraction, a little to the west of St. Louis. So I thought it was quite ironic that the Forest Park Middle School was singing the national anthem when Forest Park is such a name synonymous with St. Louis.
Ambush Nation hoping that there will be some synergism in that karma today. Both teams wrapping up their season series against each other today as they have the hug of friendship, the MASL hug of friendship, if you will. And there is the man right there who is the reigning MASL Player of the Week, Milwaukee goalkeeper Josh Lemos, author of the shutout against the Syracuse Silver Knights in the Wave's last outing on January 20th, a 6-0 Milwaukee victory. St. Louis will kick it off. Their player coach, Everton Morera, former member of the Milwaukee Wave for 6 seasons. In the white-clad St. Louis Ambush, they'll go right to left as we look at the action, and we are underway from the black turf, the only one of its kind in North American professional indoor soccer here at the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena.
Did you notice that kickoff, Tom? Everton played it to Max Ferdinand on the Wave, and Ferdinand played it right back to Everton. That's the first time I've ever seen that in indoor soccer.
Max should have launched one back the other way.
Absolutely. Hey, Max, he's on the other team. He's going to give you the ball. You go the other way with it.
Well, I think we're back to...
obviously scripted by Max and Everton before the game. If I'm Giuliano Oliviero, I'm a little concerned.
Here's Paulo Nascimento, the Ambush keeper, coming all the way in with a sliding pass near wing. Giorgio Gibson able to reload. Now Schmerman, Corey Adamson faking his shot. Adamson will have to back it out. And now the Ambush will reset with Pablo da Silva, another former longtime member of the Wave organization. Pablo, in his career with Milwaukee, 91 games, scoring 28 goals, 32 assists. His teammates and the player coach for the Ambush, Everton Morera, 136 games over 6 seasons, 73 goals, 50 assists. So both players had their moments in Milwaukee, no question about it. Lemos dives out to cover up as Daniel Burko was getting ready to pounce on it. Burko, the veteran out of Dayton University, only played in 4 games so far this year, but back on the turf for the Ambush. Milwaukee again missing a lot of key players still. Andre Hain, who has missed the last 4, now make it 5 games with a slight knee strain. He's getting close to coming back, as is Daniel Matos, who has missed the last 4 with a sprained ankle.
You mentioned Burko, number 26 for St. Louis. His return gives that team some additional speed and a nice veteran presence up front.
When he's 100%, he can fly, and a very compact body to go along with it that can take the pounding in this league. Chino Curiel trying to fire one in that's kicked out of there by the Ambush. Wave will recycle at midfield. Also great to welcome back for the Wave number 7, Hans Dennison. Hans was on hiatus, if you will, a man without a country last week in Mexico.
Well, he had a country. Unfortunately, the country was Mexico when he was hoping he was going to be in the United States.
He accompanied the Wave on their trip to Mexico and played in the 2 games down there, but then could not get back into the U.S. Due to some diplomatic difficulties. But he's back, and we're glad to have him back, the Dutch native. And so we look for his return to action here today. Isaac Pereira, number 18, who made his debut for Milwaukee last Saturday against Syracuse, back out there today. I thought Isaac showed pretty well in his debut last week. Jerger Gibson gets called for the foul there on St. Louis.
Jerger Gibson, the big, strong target forward for St. Louis, and not in the lineup today for St. Louis. Number 9, Stephon St. Louis.
Yeah, Stephon normally is a challenging guy to deal with upside. His stats haven't been that great this year, but he's a veteran presence. And, of course, we had him here in Milwaukee for a season plus as Corey Adamson draws the foul there. Let's take, again, another look on our Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Adamson a little too aggressive going after Ricardinho. Ricardo Cabrera, one of 3 Ricardinhos in the MASL. I think we should number them 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to put our Ricardinho as Ricardinho number 1 and let the other 2 from Harrisburg and Florida sort it out. Who wants to be 2 or 3? Oh, what a move there. Fired in by Ricardinho, just a bit high. That's why he's Ricardinho number 1 right there.
Well, if it's going by that, then that was a good move by Ricardinho down the left side. I was thinking maybe you were going from the smallest and lightest guys. And Ricardinho, our Ricardinho, little Ricky, would definitely qualify as number 1.
No question about that.
My 3 daughters all love little Ricky. That's what they call him. Dad, little Ricky. Little Ricky out there, number 10.
Well, I'm sure we're dating ourselves from generation of fans, Art, but of course, in our younger days, little Ricky meant little Ricky Ricardo from the Lucy Show. But we probably have most of our fans who have no idea what we're referring to.
And who was Ricky Ricardo's wife, Tom?
Lucille Ball.
That's right.
The legendary Lucille Ball. Oh, a little tap through. Nascimento had to hop on it. They've got 2 Nascimentos on this team. Paulo, the goalkeeper, and then number 15, Rafael.
And you saw Paulo, the goalkeeper, get caught outside the penalty area. That's been a tendency of his this season, is to get himself caught out, and he's committed a number of penalties in situations outside of his own penalty area.
Still getting acclimated to his first full season in the MASL, but not a bad-looking goalkeeping prospect. He's got some athleticism in there, and he can handle the ball as well. Here's Ian Bennett, the Waves' leading scorer with 49 points, second in the league behind Sonora's Frank Teo. Teo currently topping the circuit at 53, and Teo, the league's leading goal scorer, with 47. Ian second at 39. And we mentioned the other guys not in the Wave lineup. That also includes, Art, of course, the outstanding forward midfielder for the Wave, Robert Renault, who suffered a knee injury a couple of weeks ago in Monterey. He's out for the season. I was talking to Robert before the game. He's going to have surgery coming up on Thursday, so we certainly wish him good luck in that procedure. But there was a guy who arguably was in the MVP race. He was having that kind of season. First half of the year for the Wave, 19 goals, 12 assists, and a lot of key points. Here's Ricardinho! Shot a goal! And Milwaukee leads at 1-0.
During the second half of the season, over the last 4 or 5 games, that man, Ricardinho, has really started to assert himself on the offensive side of the ball. And you saw there a nice little move to his left, and then kept that shot low and hard and beat Paulo to open up the scoring. Here's a good look from behind Paulo. Paulo, once again, coming out a little too high. You see number 3, Robert Acosta, in behind Paulo, and really that should be flipped. Acosta should be the guy coming out to try to block, and Paulo should be back on his line. Not a mistake by Acosta, but that's a mistake by goalkeeper Paulo Nascimento.
I think it might have been the assist. Josh Lemos going to have to double check and see if There was another touch before Ricardinho finished it off as the second-year man, Brazilian, gets his 9th goal of the year, also has 8 assists for 17 points.
One of the things, if you're Mark Litton, the St. Louis goalkeeper coach, former Wave goalkeeper coach with Keith Tozer, you've got to be watching tape with Paulo and really trying to explain to him when he should come high off his line and when he needs to stay back. And that time he should have stayed back and let Acosta challenge that shot.
Drew Ruggles trying to work his way out of the zone on a hard tackle, but Milwaukee able to keep the possession now. Vega trying to play it up. Ruggles, nice little back heel touch. And here comes the way forward. Chamali lays it off near wing. Chino trying to work it back to Daniel Chamali. Pass behind him. Wave will reload.
The Wave on that odd man rush had St. Louis making a line change. St. Louis has got to understand you can't change when the other team has the ball and they're attacking.
Well, foul going to be called on St. Louis as Ian Bennett gets wiped out in the corner by Robert Acosta. Acosta, the veteran out of Wartburg College in Waverly, Iowa. Check it out one more time. Acosta, native of Tucson, Arizona, 31-year-old defender. Originally broke in with the Norfolk Sharks in their one season back in 11-12. Marcio, trying to set up Hans, but he could not turn it in toward goal. Pretty good look there by Marcio. Here's Schmerman coming up the near board. Schmerman in his 5th year with the Ambush franchise, which is their 5th season back since the revival in 13-14. Schmerman, a St. Louis native, played his college ball at St. Louis Community College. Here's Max coming in, drives one in, shot save by Nascimento. Good save there by Paulo on a nice strike by Ferdinand. Adamson trying to move it upfield for St. Louis, but Marcio is there to play it back for Josh Lemos. Marcio had been playing as a defender last game, and looks like, again, he's going to see some time on the back line today.
He likes to come back deeper into the defensive zone and receive the ball, and where he can play make a little bit more from that area. I like to see him up in the attacking third doing just this, is that running at people and creating the attack deep in the attacking third.
Comes across near side for Isaac Pereira. The Mexican native lays it back, Chad Vandergriff. Chad, a St. Louis native who began his indoor career with the Ambush, 2nd year with the Wave. Bennett trying to make a move, but Schmerman takes it away, and he starts it back. Lucas Almeida tried to touch it over to him. Wave reloads on it. Only goal thus far, the tally by Ricardinho, his 9th of the year from Josh Lemos, I do believe, at 5:35. Take away Hundell. Dylan Hundell coming in, shot, save, Lemos, rebound, follow, they score. And the Ambush has tallied as it looks like James Thomas rings up the goal for the Ambush with the assist from Hundelt after the save by Lemos. Check it out one more time.
Well, it was a giveaway by Vandergriff in the middle third that led to the attack, and then unfortunately for Chad, he loses sight of Thomas on the rebound, and Thomas with his 2nd goal in just his 2nd game. As you mentioned, Dylan Hundelt with the break in the attack will pick up that assist.
Hundelt, the son of former longtime St. Louis Steamer and Ambush great Kevin Hundelt. And as Art mentioned, 2nd goal of the year for James Thomas. Hundelt will pick up his 3rd assist of the year, 4th point. And just like that, the Ambush is right back in it. You see Coach Giuliano Oliviero with a few words for the fellas down there, and looked fairly intense with that discussion.
Well, the Wave was off to a start. They had St. Louis back on their heels. They just had a nice restart. And to give away such a soft goal has got to be a little bit disappointing to Giuliano. And it was, once again, Chad Vandergriff, not a good ball in the middle third of the field. He led his partner a little bit too much, which created the 2v1. Give Hundelt some credit for hitting the target. Good save by Lemos, and then Thomas right there on the doorstep. The problem for Vandergriff is not only did he give the ball away, but he lost sight of Thomas on the far side and was unable to put a body on Thomas, and Thomas finished it off.
So back to even at 1 apiece. Glad you could join us here for today's contest in Milwaukee. This is 1 of 5 going on in the MSL today. Everything else will be later on, including a big one tonight in Monterrey, Arena Monterrey, as the undefeated Flash at 14-0 take on the San Diego Sockers. Sockers leading the Pacific Division at 12-2, and you got to believe, Arts, even though that's nothing more than a regular season contest, there will be some intensity in that one tonight.
Because it's got playoff implications there. You've got the 2 leaders on that side of the table, and San Diego would like to get themselves in the conversation for potential home field advantage if those 2 teams should meet in the semis.
Monterrey would take a huge step toward clinching if they win tonight. But I got a feeling there's going to be some fireworks down there tonight at Arena Monterrey.
Well, that and Kansas City and Cedar Rapids. The season really begins tonight for the Kansas City Comets. They need to win their next 4. And tonight, if there ever was a must-win for the Comets, it is tonight against Cedar Rapids.
Rampage and Comets battling for the number 2 spot in the Central Division. Rampage at 7-8, Comets at 4-10. And then the Ambush currently at the bottom of the division at 2-13. Remember, the top 2 teams in each division will qualify for the playoffs.
And fans looking at that, Tom, would say, well, Cedar Rapids 7-8, Kansas City 4-10. Cedar Rapids has it pretty much locked up, but it's a long way from being locked up. Cedar Rapids has an extremely difficult schedule coming down the stretch.
They've only got 2 more home games, and they've got some very difficult road games rolled into that.
And the Comets, after today's game against Cedar Rapids, if they get the win, then they face St. Louis twice. And I believe they have Harrisburg at home as their 4th game. And potentially that's 4 wins, but it starts tonight against Cedar Rapids.
So that'll be a big one at the Silverstein Eye Center Arena down in Independence, Missouri. Foul going to be called on Hans Dennison there. Elsewhere around the league tonight, you've got Syracuse hosting the Florida Tropics. That's a big one there. East Division battle right now, 2nd place on the line. That game actually kicks off at 3 o'clock today from the On Center, the War Memorial Arena in Syracuse. Also, RGV Barracudas taking on the El Paso Coyotes in the Southwest Division battle at State Farm Arena in Hidalgo, Texas tonight. And then the other 2 games we talked about, Monterrey hosting San Diego and Kansas City hosting Cedar Rapids. Free kick, Ambush, top of the arc, zone to the left. Everton cranks one up at the defensive wall, able to hold and make the block for Milwaukee. Almeida tracks it down. Back for Nascimento. Bennett taking a run at him, but he's able to distribute it well. Almeida gets it back now from Adamson. Tried the diagonal pass. Good job by Dennison to get in the passing lane that time and break it up. De Silva reloads for the Rampage. Everton working in the corner. Lays it back out. There's a drive by Pablo and a nice save there, Lemos. Launching downfield for Chamali. Chamali, the Toronto area native in his 2nd year with the Wave. Remember, he and Josh Lemos and Robert Renaud, the Canadian trio, came over to Milwaukee at the start of last year. And boy, what great additions those have been to the Wave program. Gerger Gibson, he of the amazingly colored hair. Today he's got blue, white, and red. Looks like he's sporting a flag look, an American flag look. Take away Stuart Grable. Grable trying to come in. And a nice sliding tackle as Axel Duarte got over to make the block. There's a look at Gerger Gibson and that Natalie-colored hairstyle he's got today. Oh, centered on the play. Burko couldn't get it, but a follow-up and they score! And the Ambush grabs the lead, 2-1.
The Wave a bit disorganized in their own defending third of the field. You saw Stuart Grable all the way forward in the attack, and the Wave midfield not providing cover for Stewart. You saw the first chance by Burkle. You see Ferdinand arriving late, and then there's number 2.
Cody Kostakis.
Pouncing on the rebound.
Cody playing in just his 2nd game this season. and he scores a big goal at 11:52 in the first period. Gibson will get the assist, and the ambush coming in with back-to-back goals here in the first period to grab a 2-1 lead.
A couple uncharacteristic giveaways by the Wave here in the middle third of the field in the last several minutes have led to some great ambush chances.
Marcio tees one up, shot is high. Long ball sent ahead for James Thomas. Lemos will watch it go out of bounds far side. Drew Gibson picked up his 6th assist, 14th point. So the veteran out of the University of Wilmington, who's been around this league for about 4 or 5 years now. First year with St. Louis after spending last year with Syracuse. And ambush playing from in front now.
And when they announced the ambush players prior to the game, they didn't even announce Cody Kostakis. That's why I said on the last call, I'm like, number 2, where did he come from?
I'm not even sure Everton knew he was active for the game, but he's out there and making his impact felt. No, just kidding about Everton. You're not going to fool him, the player coach of the ambush.
Obviously, the Wave didn't know Cody Kostakis was active because they let him run right through the center of the field unmarked.
Wave now with a good restart chance, top of the arc, looking for the tying goal. Max Ferdinand, the league's leading playmaker, 27 assists on the year, will trigger the restart. Goes past Ruggles, then Vega fans on the shot. And Wave trying to recirculate. Marcio has got to hustle over to beat Sherman to it, though. Not the kind of restart Wave was looking for there.
No, that ball went behind Drew Ruggles. We've seen them run that play very well this season. The first time the pass from Max Ferdinand to Ruggles, but that time off the mark by about 5 feet.
Acosta launching long for Everton, was able to get a little piece of it, but had some pressure, and Lemos comes up with it. Wave has defeated the ambush 17 consecutive times. If nothing else, Art, even if this result is not, going to make a huge difference in St. Louis this season, I'm sure they want to get that anchor off their backs.
Yeah, you've said it. They've played well at times this season. They've lost a lot of close games, especially lately. Looked at their results, and there's been about 6 or 7 games that have been decided by less than 2 goals.
For the most part, their defense hasn't been bad. The addition of Nascimento in goal has been a huge addition, but they've been somewhat offensively challenged, only scoring 72 goals coming into today's game, giving up 109. So they were a minus 37 on the goal differential. Meanwhile, Milwaukee was a plus 41. They'd scored 134, giving up 93. And the ambush has certainly had some close calls against the Wave over the years. Here's Tenzin Rampa sending a couple balls in. Able to get another piece of that one after Bennett attempted a cross. Dennison trying to get to this one. Everton took it away. Now Chino avoids the sliding tackle from Everton, and Lucas Almeida will take the boarding penalty, and he is not happy about it.
We talked about this before the game, Tom, that whenever you're along the boards, you got to be very careful in the way you challenge, and players in this league are very experienced at taking that contact and then flying into the boards. You saw that Almeida wasn't that hard a challenge, but Chino did a good job of taking that contact and selling it. And you see the St. Louis captain, Lucas Almeida, in the penalty box here.
Untimely penalty there for the veteran out of Oklahoma Christian University, Lucas Almeida. Wave with the power play restart. Milwaukee trying to see if they can get the power play cranked up again. Currently at 44%, 17 of 39 of the year. Ambush have not been a bad penalty killing team. They've stopped 21 of 31 for 68%. Wave has 1 shorthand goal against it. Ambush does not have a shorthand goal. Ball deflects out of bounds. It'll go to St. Louis, and with 2 seconds left in the period, that's pretty much going to do it.
And that situation right there, Tom, I'd like to see the way there's only 20 seconds left. You've got a power play. Try to get a shot off that restart. They've just wasted the last 20 seconds of this power play and never got a shot off when you had a restart deep in the St. Louis zone.
So the ambush played in, and that will do it for the first period. At the end of one, as you get a look at Wave goalkeeper Josh Lemos, it is St. Louis 2, Milwaukee 1. This is Wave Soccer.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena Rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
A look at some of the fans here today that witnessed this game between the Milwaukee Wave and the St. Louis Ambush. And Art, we got to give credit to the fans here today. You have two massive events that are going on simultaneously with this one. The 2018 Brewers Fans Fest at the Convention Center across the street. And then on the other side of the arena, you've got the Marquette Golden Eagles basketball team hosting #1 Villanova before a sellout crowd. So between those two events, at least 30, 35,000 people, and yet looks like we still have got a decent crowd here of 3,000 to 4,000 that made the trek here today. There was no parking to speak of around the area.
Unless you had a pass like you and I have, Tom. I still felt fortunate to get in that lot across the street.
Jam-packed. Wave will start the second period going right to left. They will still have the man advantage for 1:40 to start, looking for the tying goal. Vega trying to center for Bennett. It was broken up. Leite along with Ferdinand and Ricardinho, the rest of the power play unit for Coach Giuliano Oliviero. Hundelt and Adamson out high for St. Louis on the penalty kill. Acosta, as the shot went wide, and Pablo are the other two penalty killers. Bennett trying to get in, shot a goal! And despite the fact that Guilherme Vega tried to chest it in after it was past the line, he'll go for Ian Bennett, his 40th of the year. Second straight year he has reached that milestone, and Milwaukee has tied it up at 2 apiece.
We've seen Ian do this a number of times lately. He makes a decisive move inside to his right foot and then just plays it into the far corner. And he beat Pablo that time, who Rushed in a little too quickly on Bennett, and Ian was able to create some separation, but you mentioned Vega trying to tap that in at the far post. He did that last week. Ian said, not so fast, my friend. I'm going to put a little more pace on this shot, and you're not stealing another one from me.
Ricardinho picks up the assist, so he's got a goal and an assist today. 9 in each category for Ricardinho. Bennett now with a total of 50 points on the year, and the second straight year he has achieved that milestone. Last year, Ian was number 2 in the scoring race with 53 goals, 11 assists for 64 points. So as Frank Tayo, topping was 72. And last year, as I mentioned, Ian, 53 goals. Second straight year, he's had at least 40. The guy is a pure superstar in this league.
Absolutely no hesitation to the side of the goal. He just gets it, makes his move into the box and fires away. Looks like Kyrie Irving driving to the hoop.
He looks like Kobe used to take it for the Lakers. When Kobe got the ball in the half-court set, you pretty much knew he was going to jack up a shot somehow. And most of the time he scored or was fouled.
A lot of the great NBA players are often asked, what's your key to success offensively? And they seem to say the same thing. Got to have an aggressive mindset. Got to stay aggressive. Got to attack the basket. And we've seen Ian Bennett attacking quickly and decisively, and that's been a big key to his success.
So after the foul by Milwaukee, St. Louis with the restart. Pablo ready to trigger. Goes to the end board. Good job there by Lemos to come out and block the attempt by Justin Stinson to go end board. And as they play it out to the near point, Schmerman will have to track it down. Back across for Adamson, one-time member of the Wave, but has spent the rest of his career in St. Louis. Veteran out of USC Aiken.
Which is where? South Carolina? Is that what
South
that
Carolina, yep.
Interesting. I went to University of South Carolina, and that's one school I've never even heard of. South Carolina Aiken, huh?
Well, you got USC Upstate, Spartanburg, USC Aiken. I don't know if there's another one or not. Here comes Milwaukee on the break.
It's the school I went to after a few weekends out in South Carolina. South Carolina Aiken. That was me on a Sunday morning.
Yes, some of you fans may know, Art originally went to play for the Gamecocks in South Carolina. But other opportunities came up. He didn't stay down there that long.
One semester. It was a good semester, too.
You and George Rogers hanging out.
Not many guys can say they went to one semester of NCAA Division I college and hung out with the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Chamali into the zone. Max trying to turn, shooting left footer, just missing. Good job to shield the defender and still get that shot off. Now Bennett at midfield, trying to regain the possession, but the ambush come up with it. Everton slides it across. Milwaukee comes away with it. Ricardinho checked in the boards by Pablo, but Chamali able to get it back.
Saw that chance by Max Ferdinand. Max has been just a little bit off the mark here early in this one. A couple passes and then that shot. And Larry Sales down on the bench needs to just make a little bit of adjustment to that foot, get him straightened out. Sure, Max will. We see him do it game in and game out.
Max the Waves' second leading scorer on the season. Coming in today's game, 10 goals, 27 assists for 37 points. Milwaukee being patient with the possession right now as you see Lemos, the goalkeeper, move forward. Josh, the most dynamic offensive force among goalkeepers in this league. He already got 3 goals. And if he was credited with the assists on the first goal today, scored by Ricardinho, that would give him 8 assists already.
I haven't looked at the stat, but this has got to be the most goals goalkeepers in indoor soccer have ever scored. We saw the kid from Solis last night score one.
That was a good shot, and I'll tell you what, beating his counterpart, Danny Waltman, who had a tremendous game, I thought, last night, Art. That possibly the greatest game we've ever seen where a goalkeeper gave up 8 goals, but My goodness, some of the saves he made and the way he played last night, just amazing. That was pure the essence of Danny Waltman last night.
Danny deserved a little bit better than to come out on the losing end last night for Tacoma in Mexico against Solis.
Yeah, Valdivinos did not have to work nearly as hard, but it was a great shot that he scored on. Tied the game up at 6, if I recall. Dennison trying to head to the middle as Chino was attempting to get to it. But looks like the ambush are going to clear. Double team far side, and eventually they're going to get a foul on Vega. Vega and Chino were both over there.
Speaking of that game last night, as we look at the Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay, the foul along the boards, but speaking of that game, I don't think they were going to score against Danny Waltman unless they went on the power play. It was a late power play goal that tied it with under a minute to play, and then the overtime winner was also on the power play. A couple of ill-advised penalties by the Stars.
Very ill-advised. McCluskey had really one of the most ill-advised penalties of the season. But he's been a good player for them. And I'll tell you, Tacoma, with both Pereira and Taylor Walter Bond running up front now, midseason acquisitions, they can keep those two guys healthy in the lineup with the rest of their speed and their goalkeeping. They should be a factor coming down the stretch.
Well, the problem for them is getting into the playoffs. Sitting there at 7-9, Ontario 7-7. It's going to be a couple big games between Tacoma and Ontario late in the season. They're probably going to decide who takes second place in that division.
So we got some pretty good races for the playoffs here among the divisions.
Some great races for second place. The division winners are pretty much decided, but all 4 divisions still up for grabs for second place.
Now, take away Everton. Everton actually the leading scorer for the ambush this year. 7 goals, 17 assists, 24 points, but his numbers are clearly down the last couple years in Cedar Rapids.
I didn't get to ask you, Tom, but are you a little bit surprised that Everton is still in the lineup here this late in the season? I mean, obviously he's their leading scorer, he's their top player, but really with the season gone, wouldn't this be a good opportunity to get some of your younger guys in different situations, restarts, power plays?
Pass ahead to Pereira, and good save there as we have reached our media timeout. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But before we do, we want to tell you that the Wave would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting good brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of the Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer. Also reminding you that you're watching the Wave and the Ambush on MASL TV. Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.TV. And get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you're following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. But to get back to your point, Art, yeah, you know, I'm a little bit surprised Everton is playing as extensively as he is. Clearly, he's the top offensive force on the team statistically. And, you know, he's still trying to win some games, so keeping himself in there. But, yeah, I'm a little surprised he's playing as much as he is.
Well, I think you got to look bigger picture here if you're the Ambush, right? I mean, what are you building for? You know, and who are you building with? And so there's really no substitute for experience, especially in these specialty situations, the restarts, the power plays. And quite honestly, he's the primary focal piece on all those special situations. And for me, it's about time some of these younger guys learn, and the only way to learn and become effective is to get the opportunity.
In on the restart, late to Bennett, but a foul going to be called against Milwaukee off the ball. I think they're going to get Max for setting a screen to free up Bennett that time.
Which always amazes me, Tom, because nowhere in the MASL rulebook does it say you can't set a pick or set a screen. Yeah, this is a game that has a lot of similarities in basketball, and quite honestly, the pick and roll and the screen is a big part of basketball.
Midfield, Sherman gets called for the foul. Boy, I'll tell you, they don't blow the whistle there. St. Louis is coming in 3-on-1. Almeida able to take it away from Ferdinand. Schmerman at midfield, lost it. Wave comes back, trying to come 3-2 if they hurry. As Ian Bennett trying to work his magic there. Blast one up into the stands. There you get a look at Ian, the 12-year veteran, 9th with the Wave. Originally from Hamilton, Ontario, played his collegiate soccer at Marion University in Indianapolis.
Ian with his trademark collar up on the number 26 Wave jersey.
Ian is a trendy guy, both playing-wise and uniform-wise. That's why we call him I-Plush. Nascimento to midfield, headed away Chamale. Fans might notice also Jonathan Santos not in the lineup today for Milwaukee. He's serving a one-game suspension for extracurricular actions in the last victory against Syracuse. Ricardinho with a shot that was wide, and then the follow-up attempt by Bennett was wide. And now Chad Vandergriff going to get called for a foul.
Is that how the MASL put out the Santos suspension for extracurricular activities?
Well, I was
Kinda like
paraphrasing
that.
there.
Hey, Jonathan, what are you out for? Oh, some extracurricular activities. Okay. Well, don't do that again.
Yeah, we thought it was relative to an elbowing foul on the field, but I don't know if it was ever specifically defined as just that offense or something else or multiple offenses.
Accumulation.
Accumulation, yeah. But anyway, Jonathan not in the lineup today. He's been a key player for Milwaukee in the back since returning to the Wave this season.
Can you explain to me what I'm suspended for? Jonathan, just take a timeout, bud. Just go take a timeout, and you can come back after a game.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best way to sum it up. You just needed a timeout from the league perspective.
But as we were talking about before the game, Tom, that's what makes Jonathan Santos the player he is. He has to play with that edge. And he's got to play as a guy looking to get under the skin of the other team. That's what his game is fueled on, and that's what makes him effective.
Ball cleared out of bounds on the shot in by the ambush. So now top of the arc restart coming from St. Louis. Again, the referee's discretion is, was it blocked out of bounds or steered out of bounds, played out of bounds?
And both times, I think they've made the right decision.
Yeah, I would agree. Our officials today, Kyle Trimble, Landis Wiley. First time I think we've seen Landis on the field here at the arena.
Saw that restart by St. Louis, Pablo playing it to Everton, and without giving the impression to the opponent that you're going to shoot the ball first time, it allows those guys in the wall to jump out and block the shot, which the Wave did right there on Everton.
Nascimento trying again to go long for Everton. Chamale with it, as the Wave will work it out of its defensive end to the right. Lemos sporting the orange shoe state. Boy, tight quarter pass to Hans, who did well to turn with that one. Vega got it back on the left foot, trying to anyway, but Almeida with good defense there.
Viega should have shot that ball. He made a nice crossover move from right to left and then failed to pull the trigger.
He did take the right foot shot there, but didn't have much on it cleared out. Dennison. Hans, the Dutch native in his third year with the Wave. Tried a centering pass there, broken up, now launched long by Burko. But off the mark. Boy, that would have been a great goal there had he been able to put one into the net.
Be interesting to hear Coach Giuliano Oliviero's comments at halftime, but I'm sure one of the things he'll address the team about is the quality of the passing in the middle third of the field. It's quite honestly been sloppy today for the Wave.
Wave has usually been very good in that category, but I would have to agree that today they certainly aren't as sharp.
Their possession and their quality in their possession has been a huge key to their success over the last year and a half, and today it's just been subpar for their standards.
Bennett lets Chino circle around. Ian getting marked by Pablo. Pablo was a teammate of his for several years. He's certainly not going to be fooled by too many of Ian's moves. Bennett with one of the 2 goals for Milwaukee. Thomas and Kostakis have the goals for St. Louis. Don't forget, this is game 2 of a 4-game homestand for the Wave. They've got back-to-back home games coming up against the Baltimore Blast. Saturday, February 10th at 1:05, and Sunday, Saturday, February 17th, I should say, at 7:05. So hope to see you out here, fans, for one of those 2 big games of Blast, which will be the first 2 of 3 consecutive games against Baltimore, the 3rd one of the series, if you will, Friday night, February 23rd in Baltimore. So Wave will pay its first visit to the miniature pitch at Sekou Arena. Drive by Bennett high. Whistle afterward. Foul going to be called against the ambush. Wave is going to get a free kick. But that's going to be a big 3 games for the Wave against Baltimore, Art, with both teams vying for the best record in the Eastern Conference.
Thought that foul was along the boards. Kyle Trimble, the referee on this near side to us, the far side from the play, made the call, but apparently was off the ball.
Marcio goes to the corner. They try to work a 1-2, and ball is cleared out of there. Almost an own goal scored by the ambush, but they kept it out of the net. Ian drives one in, it's saved. He gets it back, bangs it off the board, comes all the way through. Now Gibson will play it out of the zone.
The Wave has had 4 or 5 good restart opportunities deep in the zone here in the first half and failed to get a shot on virtually all of them.
Well, their execution probably not great, but also got to credit the ambush for some good defense there.
Well, give the ambush team credit for a good first half. Jamie Swanner, the acting coach on the bench, Tony Shelby, Mark Litton, and Everton have got this team playing well here.
Jamali could not work for a shot, so he goes back Marcio. Marcio hammers one in, save made by Nascimento. Rebound follow, Bennett. And Nascimento able to pluck that one out of the air. Quick outlet here. Thomas tracks it down. Thomas, a rookie out of Missouri State University.
Missouri State, is that the old Southwest Missouri State, Tom?
Indeed it is. The
ratio of females to male is at about 5 to 1.
Well, I'll tell you, not bad if you're a...
at least when I was a high school senior many years ago.
Not bad if you are a male athletic stud down at MSU.
Speaking of St. Louis, I'd like to give a shout out to their fans watching at 2 locations today, Hat Tricks in O'Fallon and the Post Sports Bar and Grill in Creve Coeur.
Watching a pretty good game so far. Lemos, the Wave goalkeeper.
Brian Roth, their general manager there in St. Louis, has got it going on. It's not just one viewing party, he's got a couple viewing parties going on.
Yeah, he does a great job down there. I'll tell you, Ambush, despite their lack of success record-wise, done an excellent job of putting fans in the seats there at Family Arena. And again, the team has put on a pretty good show in a lot of those games. They just haven't been able to seal the deal at the end, but it has been an interesting and entertaining team to watch this year.
Well, speaking of a good show, on February 9th, I believe it is, they're going to have this old St. Louis Steamer reunion against the MISL reunion. A lot of former stars coming into St. Louis for that one.
That'll be the alumni reunion weekend in St. Louis, highlighted by the games on the 9th and the 10th at Family Arena. Shot saved there by Paulo as Vandergriff was trying to get through back door.
Paulo coming off his line, probably the best save of the game for him. See if the Wave takes a timeout here to set this restart up.
Actually, want to make sure that accurately conveying the schedule for the ambush. On the 9th, they'll be in Kansas City to take on the Comets on the 10th.
10th,
That is the alumni reunion at the Family Arena, highlighted by the game of the ambush hosting the Cedar Rapids Rampage. So make your plans, St. Louis fans, to get out there. Should have quite a roll call of great former stars coming out to that one.
Some of the old St. Louis Steamer greats will be on hand. Ty Keogh, Steve Petcher. I mean, the list can go on. And then you'll have some former MISL great players as well. Zoran Karic, I believe, will be there. Hector Marinero. Mark Moser from the old St. Louis ambush.
Yeah, there's no doubt that should be quite a show. That in itself would be worth the price of admission, and then you get to see the game with the Comets and the Rampage after that, which those two rivals, especially the fact that Everton and Pablo used to play for Cedar Rapids, that is going to be an intense battle in and unto itself.
Let's see if the Wave can capitalize here on a late restart opportunity.
Little touch, Vega's shot turned away. Last 10 seconds of the first half. Max trying to work his way out of the corner. He is put down with 3.5 seconds to go. Speaking of Max, we'll have his bobblehead coming out, Art, on the game February 17th here against Baltimore at 7:05.
Silly foul that time by Richard Schmerman. Gives the Wave another restart opportunity. Look for him to set Ruggles up. Although the ambush in man-to-man, the Wave should shoot this directly.
Max bangs it off the board, and not a good bounce for Bennett to try to reload, and that'll do it for the first half. So a very tight first half here as the Wave and the ambush go to locker room tied at 2. Stick around, fans. We should have a pretty interesting second half coming forward. This is Wave Soccer. There's our score right there as we get set for the halftime interview.
And this will be interesting because Giuliano, normally as positive as they come, be interesting if he mentions the quality of the passing by the Wave here in the first half.
Let's send it down to Van McNeil with Coach Oliviero.
The Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner with head coach Giuliano Oliviero, a 2-2 tie. What's going on out here this first half?
You know what, we didn't do too badly. I think we can do a lot better. We gave up a couple goals that I thought were a little lazy to get back on defense. Second chances. Things we got to eliminate in the attack. I just think we need a little bit more urgency. You know, give St. Louis credit. They're still in the playoff hunt, and they're playing like their playoff lives depend on it. So
you think a factor of former waivers? You got Pablo, you got Everton, you got even Corey Adamson to a point. They know our system here. They kind of know our game. Is that a factor here?
You know what? Those guys have a lot of pride. They want to show well in front of their friends and family, and they had a great half. And you know what? We got to do better on our end.
All right, another 30 minutes to go. Head coach Giuliano Oliviero, the Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital Coach's Corner. Find out more at mymosh.com. More Wave Soccer. Find out all about us online at milwaukeewave.com. We'll be right back.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave. The Milwaukee Wave presents the State Farm Save of the Game. In the Wave's home opener against Cedar Rapids, goalkeeper Josh Lemos showed no signs of a sophomore slump as he came up big time after Rampage goalie Brett Petrusek came out of the box and attacked to no avail. Lemos had a save percentage of .462 on the night, along with 13 shots against and 7 goals against, and of course he's pumped up. The State Farm Save of the Game, brought to you by State Farm, here to help life go right. In New Berlin, contact Matt Teresi at 262-427-2227.
You could be my love, even if the sky is falling down. I know that we'll be safe and sound.
So many Americans struggle with finances. Starting today, State Farm is here to help, giving us all the chance to simply sit down and learn. Visit letstarttoday.com or talk to an agent.
We're safe and sound.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
Rappa clears it off the line. Oh. Rappa clears it off the line.
Attacker, so put myself in the right spot, and I've been working on saving balls off the line, so it paid off. Oh, there he goes, the ice.
for all your construction needs.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena Rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
For just a moment, think about your life without electricity. No lights, no refrigerator, no computers. It's hard to imagine, isn't it? American Transmission Company helps to keep the lights on. ATC's electric transmission lines deliver electricity from where it's generated to where it's needed. We help provide people in Wisconsin with economical, reliable power for their everyday life. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
just about ready to go with the start of the second half as you take a look at Wave coach Giuliano Oliviero getting ready to gather the troops before we get rolling here with the third quarter. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer in a 2-2 game here at the UW-Milwaukee Panther Arena. There's Paulo Nascimento coming off a pretty solid first half, the goalkeeper for the Ambush. So a tight one here, Arts, between the Central Division leading Wave at 13-3 coming in and the last place Ambush at 2-13 coming in. What do you think we might see here in the second half?
Well, as you see, Everton and Van McNeil share a nice hug, the former Wave player. But I was talking about the Australian Open. I was crazy enough to stay up till about 5 in the morning watching the great Roger Federer win his 20th major. And the question I had last night during that match was, would Marin Cilic, the Croatian, be able to sustain his play for a full 5 sets? And so I'll draw the comparison to this game is the Ambush is the Marin Cilic. Has come out, played pretty well here, staying in the game, staying in the match. But then in the 5th set, it was Federer who took over. And so I'll be very surprised if the Wave isn't able to open this up here in the second half. Much along the same lines as Federer did last night.
I was going to say, Art, we're taking a look at the Wisconsin Vision instant replay highlights of the first half. Ricardinho and Ian Bennett, the goal scorers for Milwaukee. James Thomas, Cody Kostakis for the Ambush. No comparison experience-wise really between those teams. In fact, if you took out Pablo and Everton, Milwaukee might have an average of plus 3 or 4 more seasons at least against every other player in the team. But St. Louis with some good youth and vibrancy, I guess, hanging in this league. Here comes Milwaukee going left to right second half. Stuart Grable lays it off. Bennett coming in. Shot a goal! And just like that, Ian Bennett puts the Wave up 3-2. It is nice when you have a weapon who can just pop one in when needed.
And here we go into the 5th set. And right off the bat, as Federer did last night, Ian Bennett breaks the serve of the St. Louis Ambush with an early goal.
Second goal of the game for Bennett, his 41st of the year. Grable will get the assist.
That's been the recipe for success for Ian. Down in his office, down on the lower left-hand side, a quick, decisive touch to his right foot, and then fire away.
So Ian now with a total of 41 goals, 10 assists, 51 points, tops the Wave in scoring, second in the league. So you got to look at I+ right there with the collar up. Stuart Grable, the third-year pro out of Neenah, Wisconsin. Former Neenah Rockets and former star at UW Green Bay. And Stewart's main forte is defense, but he has been productive on the offensive side. That's his 6th assist this year, 2 goals, 6 assists for 8 points.
You see these top goal scorers in the MASL, guys like Ian Bennett and Frank Taillou. I'm always amazed why the opponent doesn't have us players specifically man marking these guys where they're on the field. How do you find that much space if you're Ian Bennett at this point in your career?
No, you're not kidding, Art. You have a player assigned 4 quarters, 15 minutes each quarter, and just shadow that guy no matter where he goes.
Hey, Dylan Hundelt, I know you've got a lot of experience, or know the indoor game because your dad was a great player. You're going to follow Ian Bennett around the whole game, and your job is to just take him out of the game. You got good speed, you got good athleticism. Dylan, that's your job tonight.
That means...
How come that conversation doesn't take place?
And like you said, Art, that means marking him when your team has possession, if that makes any sense. I certainly would do it with Taillou in Sonora. That field is so small, I would just mark him even when my team had possession.
And with Ian Bennett here in Milwaukee as well. This guy scores multiple goals every game. Bennett's on the field, you're on the field. Bennett goes for the line change, you can go for a line change. Bennett goes to the concession stand, you're right there paying for him in line.
Well,
or at least getting an order in with him.
We'll see if any of the other MASL coaches who are monitoring today's broadcast take us up on that proposed tactic. But I can't believe he could do any worse as far as trying to shut these guys down. Schmerman drives it in. Leite knocked it down for the attempt by Gibson, and then the follow-up Almeida, he scored. Marcio was in the passing lane, but all he did was just settle it for Gibson, who shot it wide, and then Almeida follows up, and we are back to even at 3 apiece.
That's twice the Wave just standing around watching in their own zone. And that time it was Lucas Almeida, the ambush captain, his 5th goal of the year.
Well, if we could back it up on our Wisconsin Vision Instant Replay, from the top camera, you'd see what we were talking about. Marcio was right there to break up the pass, but instead of clearing it out, all he did was just settle it for Gibson. And he missed the shot, but then Almeida was right there to put it in. Lucas Almeida, the veteran out of Oklahoma Christian University, gets his 5th of the year, also has 6 assists for 11 points. And Gerger Gibson picking up the assist there.
And unlike Chilich in the 5th set last night, the ambush with an answer right back.
Gibson, by the way, got his 2nd helper of the game, 7 assists to go along with 8 goals, 15 points. So Gerger with a late offensive burst here this season.
Gibson. I got a kick out of Chris Fowler, who did the broadcasting last night for that match. He said, "Time waits for no one except for Roger Federer."
Ambush with it, they go right to left here in the 2nd half. Nascimento clearing downfield. Wave gets it back. Max trying to slot one through for Pereira, couldn't make the connection. Ricardinho running up on Burko to hold the zone. And now eventually Chamale will get it. Daniel Chamale did not start playing till January due to immigration issues. Kind of weird for a guy who was with the team all last year, but anyway, he's back in there. Max drives one in, Ruggles redirection up in the air. Nascimento trying to fight his way through, and he flops down, and they give him the call. Yeah, Gerger Gibson, last year with Syracuse, 19 games, he was 8-5 for 13. And this year, in 16 games, he is 8-7 for 15. So,
quite honestly, just they need a little bit more. They need a little bit more from Gerger Gibson. A little bit more from Stefan St. Louis, who's not in the lineup today. These are your target players, and their production has not been what the ambush has been looking for.
St. Louis brings it in. Shot block there as Justin Stinson tried to tee one up. Now Schmerman trying to get through Ricardinho. Good defenses. He and Max were able to double team that time. Max sends it up ahead for Ricardinho. Wave changing up behind, coming in 3-on-4. And now they'll back it up. Well, again, with Renault out for the season, with Matos and Haynes still out, with Santos out due to suspension today, Wave's depth has been tested, and we'll see if they can come through again today. Marcio, he's had an excellent season so far, although offensively quiet as of late, but he's been moved back to a defender spot, has done well there. Leite still the Waves' 3rd leading scorer with 29 points, which is 12th in the league. Dennison drives one in, good save. Nascimento, rebound, follow. Ian Bennett drove it just wide. Oh, Paulo with a big save there. And unlucky for Ian, he was just wide with the follow. Gets it back. Try maneuver past Stinson, who takes him down. Foul is called. Ian Bennett, 34 years old. He plays like a man of 10 years younger.
Talked about being tight to Ian Bennett, but the ambush need to be very careful in the way they defend him. If he has possession of the ball, you've got to contain. Move your feet and block shots. Don't dive in against the guy.
Leite with it. Rolls one in. Nascimento there to make the save.
Paulo's shown some soft hands on a few of those low shots here this afternoon.
Scrambling left footer to clear the zone. Yeah, like we talked about, Art, he's a pretty good looking prospect. Huge upgrade from what they used to have in the Nets last year. Foul called Almeida. Actually, 2 years ago, they had Jeff Ritchie, who did a pretty credible job. And then last year went with Casey Clark mostly. Didn't have a great season. Certainly, Paulo's been a big upgrade there. I see Jeff Ritchie was recently signed. I think the Comets might have inked into a deal for the rest of the year. the former IPFW mastodon.
It's like a cat with 9 lives.
Oh, we love Jeff. Actually played with the Wave briefly a few years back. He's been that stalwart veteran goalkeeper that's just always holds down the fort. Never seems like his only chance to ever really play with a decent team was with Milwaukee that 1 year. But, boy, I'll tell you, what a player, what a competitor.
Speaking of a cat, he's quick as a cat, and the guy never ages.
No, he sure
Still
does.
Looks like he's about 20 years old.
Paulo able to keep this one in play, well, almost, but it bounces out of bounds.
You go back to Paulo, Tom, and trying to make that transition from futsal to indoor soccer, and I really felt like the ambush did him a disservice by trying to get him so much a part of their attack. It's hard enough just to stop shots in this league without trying to be a focal part of the attack as well. And that's led to a lot of penalties and some giveaway goals that could have been avoided.
Ambush doing a good job to break the pressure here. Pass across is broken up.
That was Rafael Nascimento, who could have taken an extra touch, tried to play that ball first time and gave it away.
Almeida digs it out. We have not seen Pedalera. Clayton Matus, I believe he was listed on the roster for tonight's game.
Yeah, but not down on the ambush bench, so he's not here. Pedalera, the great former futsal star.
Well, he's definitely shown well for the ambush this year. Again, expectations perhaps a little higher for him, but as you said, Art, it's not the easiest making that transition from futsal to the North American indoor game.
We've talked about it over the years. It normally takes a year at a minimum to make that transition to become accustomed with the indoor game. Veterans win in indoor soccer.
No substitute for experience in this game. That's probably true in all sports, but especially in indoor soccer. Burko in the middle. Spreads it out for Hundelt. Wave keeping the pressure on. Milwaukee really trying to increase the upfield pressure here. Pablo back for Paulo. Giveaway there. Chamale trying to come through, but could not get the shot off. Paulo recovers.
And that's one of the things I'm talking about right there. Paulo, we'd put under pressure, and it's a giveaway in his own zone.
Chamale trying to clear it upfield. That one bopped Hundelt right in the nose, it looked like. Hopefully he's okay. Perea to Ruggles. Hundelt checks him off the play, but now Ricardinho comes up with it.
Hundelt still shaking the cobwebs out a little bit, but he said hopefully he's okay. He's going to be okay, Tom. It's a tough St. Louis kid right there, number 25, Dylan Hundelt.
His dad took a few knocks during his day, but boy, his dad, one of the consummate attacking defenders in the history of indoor soccer, Kevin Hundelt.
Not only a consummate defending attacker, but a consummate professional. Look at guys like him and Daryl Duran, Mark Moser, Steve Kuhn, Steve Maurer, all those guys, very businesslike and terrific competitors that used to represent the St. Louis Ambush.
Yeah, they put together some pretty good teams there back in the 90s with that group.
I think it was 95, they won the NPSL championship, a 4-0 sweep over the Harrisburg Heat.
Only time Harrisburg has ever been to the championship. Ferdinand will play it back for Vandegrift as Max will go off for a change. Now Vega with it. Vega has been playing up front due to this rash of injuries. Again, Hain, Matos, Renault, there's 3 forwards right there. So Coach Oliviero got to put somebody up front, and he's had some production. Ruggles able to head it by Paulo on the nice assist from Vega, and Milwaukee grabs the lead 4-3.
A doubleheader right there. And it was Ruggles who finished off the nice head ball pass from Vega. And the 2 defenders getting into the attack, combining for a highlight reel goal right there.
Ruggles, the veteran out of Georgia Southern University, gets his 10th of the year, has 5 assists for 15 points total, and Guillermo Vega with a nice assist on the cross header for his 7th assist of the year. Also has 4 goals for 11 points. Big goal for the Wave to regain the lead. And timeout on the field as you check it out on Wisconsin Vision instant replay.
Very nice timing that time by Ruggles to take it off the short hop. It wasn't an easy conversion that time by Drew. I had one with Rudy Pikuzinski when we were both playing for the Canton Invaders, where Rudy flicked one on to me and I was able to head it into the back of the net. The only difference there was that ball didn't bounce. It was a much easier conversion for me than that one was for Drew.
Wave, 2 more home games less on this homestand, both against the Baltimore Blast. Couple of huge games coming up for the Wave against the fellow Eastern Conference leading Baltimore Blast. Baltimore topping the Eastern Division with a record of 13-2. Wave on top of the Central, 13-3 coming in today's action. And the Blast will be here on Saturday, February 10th for a 105 contest against the Wave. And then on Saturday, February 17th for a 705 contest against the Wave. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. That's 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com, your source for everything Wave, whether it be game tickets, merchandise, summer camps. That's where you go for it, MilwaukeeWave.com. And so a couple of big ones coming up against the Blast, but Wave's got to worry about first things first here against the St. Louis Ambush, who, by the way, will be home to host the Kansas City Comets in their next game, Saturday, February 3rd at the Family Arena in St. Charles, 7:05 kickoff time. Then they go back on the road to play the Comets February 9th, and then back home to host the Rampage on Saturday, February 10th in that reunion weekend that we talked about.
We had 4 goals scored in the first half, Tom. We've got 3 here in the first 9.5 plus here in the second half. Game's starting to take the tone we kind of expected a little bit before the game. Thought it'd be a little more high scoring, but surprisingly, a very low scoring first half.
Sometimes takes a while, but again, both keepers have played well. And neither team probably has been that efficient, especially the restart chances so far. Although there haven't been a ton of restarts in the attacking zone yet. Now Paulo trying to clear up field. That one headed away by Grable. Tracked down Vega. He tried to center off the board for Bennett, but could not get it there. Paulo gets back to scoop it up.
No, you're right. The Ambush haven't had many restarts at all. The Wave has had probably 5 or 6 good opportunities down deep, but have not executed very effectively here on the attacking restarts.
Vandegrift moving it upfield. The foul is called. We have a player down for the Ambush.
Both teams have a player down.
You see, James Thomas taking the elbow up high from Vandegrift. Unintentional by Chad, but he definitely got him. And there's Thomas, the rookie out of Missouri State. He's a pretty big guy himself.
And I stand corrected, just the Ambush with the player down. You see Everton saying, hey, what's going on out there?
Yeah, again, I looked like it was clearly inadvertent by Vandegrift. Here's Kyle Trimble, the official, talking things over. Doesn't seem like anybody's going to come out too happy of this discussion. There's Everton, the Ambush player coach, getting his input as well.
See Almeida with the captain's armband. Pablo, what's his armband? Is he an assistant captain then, Tom?
I believe so. Yep. He should put the A on his shirts.
Which, remember, Keith Tozer, the former Wave coach, did that years ago. He had the C and then the A's for the assistant coaches.
Yep, just like they do in hockey. That would be the best way to do it.
Coach Tozer grew up a big New York Ranger fan, I believe.
Yes, he did, in upstate New York. Lemos with the outlet pass, broken up. Here comes Pablo, slides it across Almeida. Almeida has one of the 3 goals today for St. Louis. Thomas and Kostakis the others. Now Everton digs it out in the corner. Or rather, Pablo did, played up ahead. And eventually back for Nascimento.
Good defensive pressure that time by the ambush, not allowing the Wave out of their own half of the field.
Everton looks to distribute. Broken up, here's Bennett. 1-on-2 coming forward. Goes tumbling down as Adamson got a piece of him. Now Adamson goes down, the foul is called. You can believe the Wave isn't too happy after Bennett got dumped with no call.
But it was a good tackle on Bennett. That wasn't a foul, and that was a foul there on Grable. So referee Kyle Trimble absolutely got that right.
Kostakis rolls one in wide right. Almeida with the rebound, and that one's going to be up in the stands. 3:18 left to go here in the third. 4-3 Wave, looking to make it a season sweep of the ambush.
Saw that shot by number 10, Lucas Almeida, high over the top. Almeida scored a goal earlier in this game, but quite honestly, Tom, expected a lot more from Lucas Almeida this season. I'm really surprised he's got the captain's armband on. Wondering if that's a way that Everton feels he might be able to get a spark out of the talented Brazilian number 10. He's only got 5 goals, 6 assists on the season.
Yeah, that was just his 5th goal he scored today. And he's been in there pretty much on a regular basis since the start of the year.
He was a guy that was playing well towards the end of last season, and you really had some high hopes that he could come out offensively and put up some big numbers. But 5 goals and 6 assists through 14 or 15 games just doesn't cut it in this league. They're not bad numbers, but once again, he's got to be a difference maker out here on this ambush team.
Well, foul was called. I think due to injury, they let Dennison come on for Ricardinho. Normally, you can't change on a foul, but that's what happened that time. Now Chamale tracks it down off the board. Daniel Chamale, turning shot, blocked in the middle point. Great job by Daniel to get off that side-winding shot, blocked in the middle. I'm not sure if it was Nascimento or the defender.
Looked like it was Paulo that came out and made the save, and as you said, a cheeky little touch that time. Quality touch by Chamale to set himself up for the volley.
Pereira in the corner. Can't corral that one. Paulo's got it. Well, we've seen Paulo in previous games against the Wave. This is his most impressive effort that I've seen so far. Played pretty well down St. Louis in the game that the Wave won 4-3 in overtime, but he's been under more pressure here today, it seems like. Takeaway as the ambush trying to come back. Now Lemos comes out of his cage to try to play it upfield. Eventually, Leite got a part of it. Of course, one of the goals scored against Paulo was that amazing bicycle kick by Andre Hain in that aforementioned contest start. So I don't know if there was any goalkeeper in America that would have stopped that one. Andre's still out of the lineup with the strained MCL. Daniel Matos still out of the lineup with a sprained ankle. Robert Renaud is out for the season. He'll have ACL surgery on Thursday here in Milwaukee. And then Jonathan Santos out due to a 1-game league suspension. So as we talked about, Wave has had its depth challenged here in the last few weeks. Everton trying to get behind the defense. That was a pretty good look there by Duarte. Just a bit high for Everton to pull down. Last minute of play, 3rd period. As Pereira coming forward, but checked off the ball. Isaac playing just his 2nd game for the Wave this season and in his career. Now the ambush break the pressure. Here's Pablo. 3-2, 4-2 with Hundelt trailing. He comes right in, lays it off, and the shot is blocked. Good job by Chamale to block the shot from Everton and clear downfield. .1 left to go here in the period. Again, 4 more games to come here in the MSL today, including Florida at Syracuse, El Paso at RGV, San Diego at Monterey, and Cedar Rapids at Kansas City. can watch those all on MASL TV. I'm definitely going to be checking out that Monterey-San Diego game, which I'm sure a lot of our fans around the league will be. Last seconds of the period. Marcio trying to get through, but again, stymied by the St. Louis defense. Everton, can he do anything? Nope, time's going to expire. And that will do it. Well, the Wave outscores the Ambush 2-1 in the third. Hang on, fans. We go to the fourth. It's Milwaukee 4, St. Louis 3. This is Wave Soccer.
Arena has experience in some of the biggest events in the country, and we're able to bring that same expertise to local events. We do a lot of corporate anniversaries, company parties. Most of them never plan events like this, so they're looking for our experience to plan these events with them.
Well, every August, we have our customer appreciation party where we close down the restaurant. Customers are able to sample beer, wine, enjoy live music, desserts, the whole 9 yards.
Arena can provide a turnkey service from tents, tables and chairs, linens.
Everybody has a wonderful time, and it's something different out of the ordinary that we're able to do for our customers and for our vendors. They're able to just sit back and relax.
People want more than just a cover for weather. They were able to transform parking lots into amazing event venues.
Arena Rental is very easy to work with. I would recommend them to anybody.
Go where the pros go for chiropractic care, massage therapy, and exercise rehabilitation. Goodyear Chiropractic Health Center, the official chiropractor and massage therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
Experience Wisco Hotels, a broad selection of quality hotels throughout the state of Wisconsin for the value-minded traveler. Whether you're looking for a hotel in Milwaukee, Madison, Fond du Lac, Appleton, or Oshkosh, Wisco Hotels has you covered with great service, comfort, convenience, outstanding hotel rates, special hotel promotions, and so much more. To book your room or to get more information, visit wiscohotels.com. Wisco Hotel Group, proud partners of your Milwaukee Wave.
For all your construction needs.
We've come to the fourth period. Fourth period here from Milwaukee. 4-3, the Wave leading the St. Louis Ambush. Tom went along with the Wave Hall of Famer Art Kramer. The Ambush trying to beat Milwaukee for the first time in 4 meetings this year, for the first time in 18 meetings over the past 5 seasons. This is about as close as they've come, other than the 3-3 tie at the end of regulation down in St. Louis back in December when the Wave won 4-3. So Art, do they have it somewhere in their DNA to possibly come back and win this game? Not that Wave Nation is hoping they do.
I'm sure the St. Louis fans that are still at Hat Tricks are hoping they do, as the PA system blasts out "Turned Down for What" by DJ Snake. Fire up me now, another round of shots over at Hat Tricks.
If the Ambush come back to win this game, I bet the shots will be flowing big time down there. It's been an excellent game here today, and again, probably against outside expectations. If there were a Vegas line on this game, Art, they probably would have put it, you know, Milwaukee 5, 6, given 5 or 6 for this game. Over under probably somewhere in the vicinity of 14, 15 as far as total goals scored. So again, Ambush has done a heck of a job going against the trend here today.
Sounds about right. And once again, I asked the question to start the second half is, can the Ambush sustain for the entire 60 minutes?
Here we go. Wave goes right to left as we start the fourth quarter. Josh Lemos, the reigning MASL Player of the Week, for his shutout of the Syracuse Silver Knights 8 days ago. Josh has had another excellent game here today, but so has his counterpart, Paulo Nascimento, for the St. Louis Ambush, to limit the Wave to just 4 goals. Remember, Milwaukee, the second highest scoring team in this league, with 134 goals coming in. And Ambush has limited them to just 4, especially here in their home turf, where they average nearly 10 per game. Dylan Hundelt trying to get to the middle and ridden off the play by Stuart Grable. Stuart again, another excellent job today for Milwaukee, patrolling that defender in midfield. The native of Neenah, Wisconsin, in his 3rd year with the Wave. Ricardinho with the no-look pass to the right wing, and nobody was there. Buggles was a bit surprised to see where it went. Ambush come up with it. This has not been Milwaukee's sharpest game passing-wise this season.
Not even close.
Chino with a sliding effort to try to play it up front. Foul going to be called. They will charge that against Justin Stinson. Stinson playing in just his 3rd game today. Daniel Burko just his 5th. Kostakis just his 2nd. James Thomas just his 2nd. And yet the Ambush hanging in there against the veteran-laden Milwaukee Wave, albeit definitely short-handed with several of their key players out due to injury or suspension.
You mentioned it hasn't been the Wave's sharpest passing game, Tom, but that's the mark of a good team. You can go out there, not play at your highest level, not bring your A game, and still come away with a victory.
So we'll see if the Wave can hang on to this one. I'm not sure 4 goals is going to win it, though. They definitely would like to produce a couple of more if they can. There's a man who's got one so far today, Ricardinho. Into the corner, Vandegrift. Chad, a St. Louis native who played his college soccer at SMU and St. Louis University. Had it taken away there. Back comes the Ambush. Thomas, the rookie out of Missouri State. 2 games played, 2 goals scored. If he keeps that pace going for another 500 games, he'll be one of the greatest scorers in indoor soccer history.
I've been impressed with number 20, James Thomas. He's got the same build as a Tony Walls.
Shot in by Rafael Nascimento, and a nice diving save by Lemos. One of his best of the day. That's our State Farm Insurance save of the game so far.
Mentioned Tony Walls is currently playing for Cedar Rapids, former Milwaukee Wave player.
Yeah, good analogy there. I would agree. Tony a little more lithe, maybe as far as body composition. But yeah, not a bad call there. Daniel Chamali trying to get forward. Good job to play off the tackle and send it across. Picked up by Paulo, and here he comes. Paulo certainly not afraid to lead the counterattack. Everton chips to the middle, coming through. Pablo lays it off. Almeida, shot and a goal. A return address to the top left corner, and the Ambush has tied it at 4 apiece. And maybe Lucas Almeida responding to our previous assessments of his game.
Absolutely, and that's the guy the Ambush needed to get going. See Almeida, a first-time shot that beats Lemos up high, and it was good. Good job by Paulo to start that attack previously. Off the save, the rush to midfield, got the attack generated. The Wave never could get out of their own zone.
So, Pablo picks up the assist. Almeida gets his 2nd goal of the game, 6th of the campaign. Pablo gets his 14th assist. Pablo starting the year in Cedar Rapids and then got the call from his old buddy Everton, who used to play and coach in Cedar Rapids, to come on down to St. Louis. That was in the deal for Victor France. And I'd say it's worked out okay for both teams. Anyway, Pablo now with 9 goals, 14 assists for 23 points. Here are the Ambush back even with 10 and some change to go.
Ambush just hanging around in this one.
Their only road victory was down in Florida a couple of weeks ago as they beat the playoff contending Tropics 7-5. Certainly Tropics Nation was stunned by that one, but again, they've been close in a lot of games. They just really have not been very effective at finishing. Chino plays it ahead the back heel in the zone now. Believe it or not, Max Ferdinand has exactly 1 point in his last 7 quarters. The Waves' number 2 scorer, number 4 in the league coming in. Now Ricardinho coming through. He drives one wide. Nice little touch there from Marcio to set him up. Ruggles gets it back. Speaking of Marcio, he has no points in the last 2, including this one. Number 12th leading scorer in the league. Thomas plays it back. Almeida, Thomas, nutmeg pass through Ruggles as looks for Hundelt. Charging full steam as Lemos did a good job to come out and distract him. Acosta will get it, lay it back for Paulo. Burko with it now here. Burko, the former star of the Dayton Flyers, coming back. We got a card displayed. I believe it's going to go against Hans Dennison for holding, and St. Louis is going to go on the power play at 5:37 of the 4th period. Only the 2nd penalty of the contest to either team.
We haven't seen the Wave man-down team be putting a lot of under a lot of adversity so far this season, but this penalty right here is going to do just that. Big opportunity here for the Ambush and a big challenge here for the Wave man-down unit.
Milwaukee so far this year, pretty good job as far as penalty killing. They've killed off 25 of 34, 74%, one of the best PK units in the league. They do have 1 shorthanded goal scored by Ian Bennett. St. Louis on the power play, not one of the more efficient in the league, 6 for 23 at 26%. They have given up 1 shorthand goal. But right now, they are very dangerous in a tie game midway through the 4th period. Adamson, shot blocked by Leite. Corey didn't get much of it. Here's Ian Bennett. Shorthanded, he's 1-on-4. Almeida cut him off. Somebody had to cut him off as Ian was streaking upfield.
I was going to say it's a good matchup going the other way, shorthanded for Bennett against Pablo and Lucas Almeida. Definitely much faster than both those players.
Pablo works it across to Everton. Good job there by Vega to harass him. Now Adamson try maneuver in, he lost control. Grable, Bennett, Vega, and Leite. Shot just wide by Everton. Oh, Lemos was not going to get that, but fortunately for him in the Wave, it was wide. Lemos will put it through his legs to Leite. Now on the far wing. Vega will come forward. Nice move there by Guilherme to use up a little time. Ambush get it back. Just 20 seconds left on the man advantage for St. Louis as we are midway through the 4th period. Tied at 4, Aiken rolls it in wide right. Gibson settles. And turning off the mark, Adamson follows, he scores. Power play goal for the Ambush. They lead it 5-4.
You could see the Wave man-down team was tired, and Adamson makes him pay on the back end of the power play. Sitting down low on that right side, left unmarked. The Wave was extended high up the field. Vega had an opportunity to take the ball deep in the corner with Bennett ahead of the play. And he chose to try to kill some time in the middle third, and once he gave it away, it led to an on-man rush.
Corey Adamson puts the ambush ahead with his 10th goal of the year. Also has 3 assists for 13 points. Jurger Gibson gets the assist as he had missed the previous shots. If I'm accurately recalling that, that would be his 3rd assist of the game, 8th of the year. And the St. Louis ambush has taken the lead.
You hear a term used in sports a lot nowadays, Tom, about a trap game. You know, it's a trap game, and I've never been a big believer in the whole trap game thing. I think as players, you come out, you play every game, and it's easy to say when a team that's not supposed to beat another team goes out and takes it to them, and they say, well, they were looking ahead, they were overconfident, they took their opponent lightly. I don't think that's the case. I just think the Wave, from a quality standpoint, hasn't produced very well in their terms of their passing. And give St. Louis some credit. They've come out and played a spirited contest. Everton, Pablo, you got Mark Litton, Tony Shelby, a lot of guys with Milwaukee ties. You heard Van ask Giuliano Olivier at halftime if that had any part in this game here. It always does. They want to come out, they want to play well. You know they're probably going to go out after the game in Milwaukee, and the food's going to taste a little bit better, and the drinks are going to be a little bit sweeter if they can come out of here with a victory against the Wave this afternoon.
The weights of that losing streak against Milwaukee.
17?
17 in a row coming in. It has got to be just probably like Atlas holding up the world at some point. They've got to break it, and right now they have got a pretty good chance to do so, leading by 1 with 7.5 left to go.
You could really see the Wave at the end of that man down. We're tired. And once again, they had an opportunity to kill some time deep in the attacking zone and made the mistake of trying to kill those seconds in the middle third.
Wave going right to left here in the 4th. Josh Lemos with it. The MASL's leading winner as far as goalkeepers with 13. Their leading scorer as far as goalkeepers with 3 goals, 8 assists, including 1 today for 11 points. Remember, half the guys in this league aren't going to score 10 points this year. Josh has already got 11 as a goalkeeper. One of 9 players in the Wave in double figures. Ruggles makes a move, lays it off far side, and shot a goal! Chino puts it in. We're tied at 5.
You're sitting here wondering who's going to make a play for the Wave to get this team started, and it was that man right there, Angel Curiel, with a great little move in midfield to set up the attack, and then played a nice give and go in the box and finished it off. Great individual effort that time by Curiel.
So Chino with his 5th of the season, and give him a total of 9 points on the season. He's also got 4 assists. As Isaac Perea, I believe, picks up his first MASL point with the assist there. Hey, you got to feel good for Isaac. Back to even.
Sorry, Tom, go ahead.
Isaac in his 2nd game registering a point.
Isaac was actually trying to settle that so he could shoot with his left foot. He took a little bit of a heavy touch, came right back to Chino, and he buried it. Notice on that goal too, though, Tom, once again, Paulo out the top of the box challenging, and the St. Louis defender in behind him trying to block off the line. We've seen that twice.
Ambush back on the attack. Gibson turning shot, save Lemos. As I don't think he got a look at that one until the last moment. Pablo will crank one up that comes down and falls for Pablo with a shot. And Lemos makes a good save there. Boy, that one fell nicely for Pablo for the shot. Grable checked off the play by Stinson, but a little bit too much on the form of Justin Stinson, and the foul is called. So Chino from Perea at 8-10. The Wave ties up at 5. Wave right from the kickoff art. That possession had some purpose for Milwaukee that time. And it resulted in a goal. So we're back to even. Bennett down to Max. It'll be Max Ferdinand bobblehead day, Saturday night, February 17th. 7:05 contest when the Wave hosts the Baltimore Blast. Call the Wave office for tickets, 414-224-WAVE. As James Thomas tried a long shot back, trying to beat the goalkeeper Lemos, but Josh got back there. Now Ricardinho makes the move at midfield, plays it in the middle. Bennett trying to see if he could backheel touch off the board, and Ruggles puts down Almeida. Foul is called. So it's the Blast coming up here Saturday, February 10th at 1:05. That's the Waves' next game. And then Baltimore again on Saturday, February 17th at 7:05. Two big games in the battle between the two division leaders in the Eastern Conference. Baltimore in the East, Milwaukee in the Central. Again, over in the West, you have Monterey still undefeated at 14-0 going into tonight's game against San Diego at Arena Monterrey. And the San Diego Soccer is putting together a pretty impressive season themselves at 12-2.
Be great to see the Baltimore Blast rolling in here to the UWM Panther Arena. Love Blast Wave games.
One of the greatest rivalries in the history of North American professional indoor soccer. The intensity
and Max
should be ratcheted up.
Sorry, Tom.
Go ahead.
Gonna say, Max should be asking referee Kyle Trimble to back Gibson up on that restart. He's a yard away from the ball.
Lemos coming forward with Almeida chasing. Josh certainly not uncomfortable handling the ball in his attacking half of the field. Now Leite will play it out. Chino just provided the tying goal a bit earlier. Off the mark on the shot, clear downfield. Lemos across for Leite. Marcio getting pressured and just getting away, getting rid of it. Dennison. Hans pressing up 4-on-3, lays it off near side. Chino walking in. Chino with a shot, save, rebound. Dennison shot in the middle, knocked away. And yes, indeed, they will pull a card for a handball.
I don't know.
Wade was calling for it, but yeah, Art will have to check out the Wisconsin Vision instant replay to see if indeed it was.
I think Landon Wiley got that one wrong. It looked like a ball off the chest in front. Watch here. Right there, it looked like off the chest to me. Now, it may have been a handball on Paulo outside the box on the initial save, but clearly I don't think that was a handball on the ambush defender that time.
So Milwaukee is going to end up with a power play opportunity here in a tie game with 3:41 left to go.
I'd love to get another look at that play again. We had one replay, and it was difficult to see if that ball caught any of the left arm.
Too bad we can't ask Scotty Fellows, sitting there to the left of the officials in the box, what he saw down there. Scotty, the scoreboard operator down there. Too bad we can't ask the officials what they saw.
And that's a PK for sure. Handball inside the penalty area. And it was Landis Wiley that made the call. It wasn't the veteran official Kyle Trimble. I'm not so sure about that one, Tom.
Time of the penalty at 11:19. It sure looks like a PK. And as you said, Art, if you're going to make that call, it is a PK. Is that Duarte, I believe, in the box? Yes, it is. So he gets charged with the handball. And again, video evidence would seem to go against that. Bennett steps up. He drives it in on the PK. Hat trick again for Ian Bennett. I believe that is his 10th of the season in 17 games. And Milwaukee takes the lead 6-5. One more time on the Wisconsin Vision instant replay. Now, Nascimento actually guessed to the right direction, but Ian stuck it right underneath him. Look at that. How about that for a no-look shot, huh? Even though he didn't really fool Nascimento, it still looked pretty cool.
You wonder, what's more difficult for a goalkeeper, to save a penalty kick outdoor or indoors? I think it's indoors. It's just so close.
11:21, the time of the goal. Ian's third of the game, his 42nd on the year, which is second best in the league. Only Frank Sonora with 47 has more. Ian also the league's second leading scorer, 52 points. Now just one behind Teo, who's got 53.
One of the great things, Tom, about being able to watch these games on YouTube is the ability for the fan to go back and take a look at replays. I do it often during the games, and I'll let you guys at home be the judge of whether that was a handball or not on the ambush.
Well, at least not on the shot blocked by Duarte. Again, as you said, Art, perhaps the goalkeeper, Nascimento, got a hand outside the box, but
that's not what they called. Because handball outside the box would have been a shootout.
Yes.
And this was a PK, so the call was handball in the box. And like I said, fans at home, go back, take a look. We got one replay. It was hard to tell on the replay we saw, but just to the naked eye, didn't appear that that was a handball. And in a 5-5 game, late in the game, that's a tough call.
Tough call. Ambush Nation, I'm sure, not too thrilled with it, but take nothing away from the excitement of this game today. I'll tell you, this crowd that's shown here today, Art, and again, give them all the credit for coming down here with no parking between the two other major events going on downtown here today. All the credit in the world to the fans who are here. And boy, I'll tell you, these teams have given them a pretty good show, as it turned out.
I've alluded to the Waves' difficulties in the middle third with their passing, but it's really been the Waves' quality in the middle third off the dribble that has really sparked this attack here in the fourth quarter. You saw Chino with a great move in the middle third to get the equalizer. And we've seen some good work here in the middle third beyond that point for the Wave to create some additional opportunities.
St. Louis will not go with a formal sixth attacker, but you see Paulo, the goalkeeper, pushed up now as a pseudo sixth attacker, if you will. He's just about as capable as most of the other field players, so no problem for him to do this.
And I'm a big fan of this. If I were coaching in this league, I'd have my goalkeeper be my sixth attacker. If you're going to bring him up anyway and use him like that, why not do it during the sixth attacker?
Yeah, if you have a guy who can do it, you might as well. I totally agree with that.
Got to jump there, Landon, and get out of the way.
Landon Wiley, Kyle Trimble working the game today.
See NHL referees on skates jumping up on the boards to get out of the way of a puck moving at about 70 miles an hour. And we stand like a statue and let the ball hit us when all you need to do is jump.
Empty net to the left as we look at it, as we come down to the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of this contest. Hundelt in the corner for St. Louis. Pops one up. Zone kept by Almeida, but it bounces in the arms of Josh Lemos. Josh looking around like he's going to call timeout, and he does. Remember, the goalkeeper can only hold on to it for 5 seconds before getting called for a delay of game, so Wave is going to take time, make sure they have things straightened out here on the sixth attack. Well, looking forward, Art, to not only the end of this contest, but the next two home games coming up for the Wave, as they will be hosting the Baltimore Blast, their longtime rivals from the Crab City. And Baltimore, again, having a tremendous campaign. Now, interesting, their all-star goalkeeper, William Vanzela, went down with a bad groin a couple weeks ago. Boom, out pops Joey Capinos.
Yeah.
Veteran goalkeeper in this league. Last year played with Ontario. Prior to that with Rochester. And Joey stepped in like he's been working out all year with the Blast. No problems. Excellent goalkeeper. Very underrated goalkeeper. And boy, what a pickup for the Blast to just plug in there after a guy like Vanzela goes down. So don't know what the status of Vanzela is. Really suffered a bad groin injury that's kept him out the last couple of weeks. But if the Blast has to go with Capinos, he'll be ready. And again, fans, you got 2 shots to get out here to see him, hopefully both times. February 10th at 1:05, February 17th at 7:05 here at the UW Milwaukee Panther Arena. Call the Wave office or tickets 414-224-WAVE. You can also order online at MilwaukeeWave.com. MyMush.com. Should be a great couple of games, though, coming up.
By the way, did you say Crab City? I think it's Charm City is what Baltimore is, but I like Crab City, too. That's a good nickname for Baltimore. They do complain about the officiating calls in almost all sports. It's kind of a Baltimore thing. And I love the Blast fans, and I love that organization. And anybody listening out there that's a Blast fan knows I'm all doing this tongue-in-cheek.
I will not be surprised if we see a few Blast fans coming here to Milwaukee. We typically get a few, and yeah, I agree. Great rivalry between the teams, the organizations, the fans. All right, Milwaukee with it as they try to preserve this one-goal lead in the last 2 minutes against the St. Louis Ambush. Looking to sweep the Ambush 4 straight in this year's regular season series. Looking to defeat them for the 18th consecutive time over the last 5 years. Ferdinand at midfield does well to get it away to Vega. And now back for Marcio. Wave going into the four corners offense, trying to see if they can work the clock here. Ambush pressuring all over the field. Wave stringing together their best set of passes so far today.
Dean Smith would be proud.
Dean Smith, the former longtime coach at the University of North Carolina, where the players used to go to class back in those days. Not as much in the Roy Williams era, but back when Smith was there, they tended to more so. I can just hear the UNC alums punching it up on the message board. Pablo now will be 6th attacker. So in the last minute of play, they go with Pablo as a real 6th attacker instead of just the goalkeeper, Paulo. Here's Ginger Gibson with a shot. Blocked by Grable. Rebound off the end board. Gibson trying to get it back, cleared out. Bennett trying to move upfield, but the Ambush keep it. Gibson again. Good step up there as Vega knocks it forward. Vega racing upfield along with Bennett. And I believe they're going to get a handball call on the Wave as Bennett and Vega were both racing onto it. 39.2 to go. There's still plenty of time for the Ambush to come back and get the tying tally.
Probably a fortunate thing for the Wave that they did get called for a handball. They can't get extended here, and that's what happened on the last St. Louis power play. The Wave got extended and gave away a goal the other way.
Gibson again has the shot blocked as he tried to turn. Bennett from midfield. This one's going to tail just a bit left. Oh, what a race onto it that time by Chamale, as Pablo was just able to nudge him out of the way. Pablo with 17 seconds, charging forward. Pass on the near wing, Adamson. Over to Almeida. Ambush looking for the tying goal. Pablo rips one just high. Rebound on the midfield. Bennett racing onto it. Ian Bennett looking for the empty netter. Bennett trying to walk it in at the buzzer. He does! Number 4 for Bennett! And the Wave is going to win it. Number 43 for Ian. When there is an empty net and Ian Bennett is chasing the ball, he almost always wins the race. And hopefully he's okay on that last sliding tackle attempt by the Ambush.
Take a look there. Richard Schmerman came in at the end and tried to make a sliding attempt on Bennett.
Unassisted for Bennett at 14:58 of the fourth period. He is a true superstar of this league, or any other indoor league you could possibly have. He is the one and only I-plush, Ian Bennett.
You saw Bennett looking at Schmerman there as he was walking over. I think Schmerman said to him, hey man, wasn't trying to get you.
And Ian is fired up, baby. 4 goals in the last home outing, 4 goals today.
Ian Bennett doing his thing down there on the Wave bench. IB 26.
And Ian is still fired up. And I think we're looking at our PCI Construction hardest working player of the game right there. Number 26, Ian Bennett. This game is over. And what a game this turned out to be today. So, Art Kramer turns out to be one of the more exciting games of the year. all credit to the Ambush today for their effort, and all credit for the Wave too. You know, things were not going their way in part because of St. Louis's tenacious defense, but the Wave stuck with it, and in the end, one of their superstars, maybe the superstar in the league beside Frank Teo, Ian Bennett, comes through.
The Wave came up with some quality when they needed it, late in the fourth quarter. And sometimes you got to win ugly in this league, and that was the case today for the Wave.
Milwaukee goes to 14-3, still undefeated at home at 8-0. They clinched the Central Division title today with the victory over the Ambush. And so the Wave will host the whatever game they want to in the two-game first-round series, either against Cedar Rapids or the Kansas City Comets or the St. Louis Ambush, amazingly enough, who are not officially eliminated from the playoff race at 2-14. Ambush now 1-7. Away, they have identical records, home and away at 1-7. Josh Lemos wins his 14th game, as does his team. And we are still awaiting the post-game interview here with Van McNeil getting ready to talk to Ian Bennett. Don't forget, let's send it down. Van McNeil with Ian Bennett.
Construction Incorporated, hardest working player of the game. Give it up again, number 26, Ian Bennett, Wave fans. 4-goal performance tonight. My God, what a career season. Oh my goodness, you're out of breath still after that last goal, huh?
Yeah, man, I'm just blessed, man. We're just trying to do work, man. The fans came out today. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in Wisconsin and Milwaukee, but they came out, man, so we had to give them a show, man. Woo!
One of Wisconsin's most popular sports stars that you don't know in the Milwaukee Journal-Sun. That was a great article.
Yeah, man, I'm just happy that they actually wanted to do something on me. But credit to the team, man. These guys set me up, put me in great positions. Without these guys, there's no me, man. So I got to give them credit. All the credit to my teammates, coaching, staff, the office, the owner, Mike, Z, Dan, K. They're doing work, man. It's unbelievable.
Now, this is an honor to get your first reaction on what I'm about to say. And Wave fans, you may be hearing this for the first time as well, but your Milwaukee Wave, for the first time ever, Major Arena Soccer League Central Division champions.
Ooh, I didn't even know, man. I didn't even know. Woo!
It's got to feel good, right?
Yeah, man, to clinch it this early, it takes the pressure off us, and we can actually work on stuff that we need to work on. But, man, I'm so grateful, so happy, man, for this team and this organization, baby.
And we ain't finished yet, right?
No. Hey, this is just the beginning, baby. This is just the beginning, baby. Hi, Mommy.
Number 26, Ian Bennett, our player of the game. You want it?
Nah, I'm good. I'm a little tired. I got asthma. I'm a little tired.
All right, Ian Bennett, our Professional Construction Incorporated, hardest working player of the game. More at WIPCI.com. For Tom Wynn, Art Kramer, under the direction of Charlie Wise, Scott Johnson, Drew Rutherford, Mike Jakubowski, Meredith Ketzler, Doreen Michaels, I'm Van McNeil. Final score, Milwaukee Wave 7, St. Louis Ambush 5. Join us for our next game, Saturday, February 10th. It's old school video game night. Get more at MilwaukeeWave.com. Good night, everybody. Thank you.